I'm elected position, so I guess I'm gonna start us out here with the pledge. You'd all stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll start with public comment. Please limit yourself to 3 minutes or thereabouts.
I have a public comment.
All right,
Actually, it's not really a.
It's a court comment.
I have a gift for all of our commissioners,
oh, wow,
so.
it's like Christmas.
Yeah, it's because of one particular commissioner.
Thank you.
Well, look at that.
Yeah. Wow,
Thank
those
you.
are nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
For me, you guys tricked me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
beautiful.
Official.
I had a hand on it.
It's only taken 18 years.
I thought about drawing little smiley faces and stuff on the paper.
You guys, I am a money saver. Paper saves money. So y'all out of your port paycheck, that will be coming.
That's fine.
It's coming out. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Payroll deduction.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
payroll
Don't get
deduction.
some ideas for
Yeah,
chamber.
I was just thinking that.
We did downgrade them from gold to silver. So
Is there any public comment in the room? Is there any public comment on Zoom? Can anybody hear us on Zoom? All right, hearing no public comment, we'll move on to agenda items. Election of officers, since we don't have a chairperson right now.
Yeah, normally they're held in odd years, but our chairperson is no longer on the board, so we need to hold an election.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Spring as chairman, 2026. I would you?
Respectfully accept the nomination.
And no issues with that.
Okay. Any other nominations? I think you gotta say it 3 times, right? Is there any other nominations?
Nope, I'll second that nomination.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Hearing no other nominations. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, probably need to elect a secretary. Does anybody want to be secretary? Secretary's duties, from what I just stepped back from, were mainly showing up and signing stuff if we needed it. Grants, stuff that are not normally, we approve them, but then they have to be signed some other time.
And the
Sign
minutes.
Minutes and payroll, right?
Well, it
Okay,
doesn't have to be payroll, but it can be any commissioner signs payroll.
okay.
So that part's
Okay.
not.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody want to run secretary?
Do I hear you volunteer? Is that what I hear? I'm good. That's what I'm hearing. I think one of the ones is, you're in town here. And it's easier, if they need something signed real quick or something like 2 people, I think that's what it was for. And honestly, I got no arrogance with it, so I'm absolutely okay if that's something to roll in my field. If not, I will, I'll roll with it. How's that? Perfect.
So I hear the nomination is Scott. And I can't be the secretary, and Johnny, you nominated him, so I think.
Does it need a second?
Yes,
I'll second it, yes. Well, there you go.
Oh. yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think I can second it. So all those in favor of Scott? Say Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries.
See how efficient we are? Boy, howdy.
The only other position that I guess I want to bring up is the task force.
Mm,
And Jenny was the representative for the commission in the task force before I was elected, and then I stepped in and asked if I could run as that. I think that because of
Scott is the
Scott,
chair of the
chair
task
of
force.
the task force and a member of the chamber board, I would respectfully step down and let Jenny be the representative again to the task force. Any discussion about that? I mean, you guys voted for me to be the representative. I guess we'll probably have to vote for Jenny, but I can't make a motion, so.
I suppose we would have to vote for Jimmy to do that. I guess, because you're already there, you're actually,
She's there every meeting.
but yeah, I mean, that's, yeah.
The port's involved in the task force.
And you're president of
The chairman.
Chairman of the task force?
Yeah.
As the chamber board person, so having the two of them there,
Would-
while it may not be truly illegal, is,
Problematic.
yeah, it's
Oh, you mean for,
The
two
two of
court
us.
commissioners in the same meeting, and yeah.
for the
I
court?
would, I plan on occasionally attending, which I can legally do, just periodically show up. But if we're both there and assign, we probably have to end up advertising it as a public meeting.
Don't talk about port business.
Well, that's tough on the task force, because we help fund it.
No, I haven't been, no.
So I'm saying I'm gonna step down. And I would like to see Jenny represent the port there.
I'm okay with that.
I'll second that.
Okay. I didn't make the motion, so one of you had to make.
I'll make a motion, Jenny.
I thought you did.
I would say, I'd say second in it, but I'll make a motion, Jenny can represent the port
And it's
and
been-
bring back the information back to the port commissioner meeting for any updates or information associated with.
Perfect. And you second it? So the motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right.
Okay.
I had a little note there that I need to do that. Okay, has everybody had a chance to peruse and read the minutes?
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion to approve the minute or questions or?
December's. It's December's minute.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, now we have you as the signer on the minute.
Well, I would,
You were the secretary,
secretary,
so,
I think that would work.
yeah.
Cause I was the secretary.
Yes,
Till
thank
just a
you.
few minutes ago.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Monthly. The review of the monthly budget report and approval of vouchers.
Okay, let us start with 2020, the full 2025 budget report first. Ooh,
You got blue. What color is that?
I'm special. I get They always were blue before, and I have a notebook full of blue ones, so I get blue ones. Okay, so this is the year end for 2025. We got the final report from the county, so I have notes on my blue one, so I've got to go back to it. So if you will note,
And where are we starting at?
well, we're gonna start, we don't need to go line by line. This is the one you've been looking at all year. We're just gonna look at the bottom line of things. So if you go over to the right-hand side on the income side, yeah, on the income side. If you just go down to the bottom,
Yeah, I don't think it's in the booklet. It's right behind the agenda. And the minutes.
yeah, it should have been right underneath the minutes. Yeah, it should be number, yeah.
Yeah, if I would have kept them in order.
There you go. You're getting there.
Yeah, and it says, port budget and then
2025 budget.
beginning revenues.
Is this mine? No, that's mine.
You didn't get one.
Here, if I drink off,
You can share.
I mean, here's what sharing is caring. Yeah. Mhm.
So really, the only things I wanted to point out on this are on the income side. If you go down to the bottom right corner, you'll see that we took in 63.3% of the revenue that we budgeted.
Okay.
And the reason that it's that low is because we didn't do the RV project. If you
okay.
go up just a little ways where it says 102%, that's our regular revenues, that's our non-grant, non-tax, regular revenue. We met it and actually we're a little above. So the 102. Then, the next section down is grants and loans, and you can see that one was only 46.3, and it's because that project did not start it didn't happen in that year.
Okay.
So 63.3%. On this budget, if it's in red, on this side of the budget, if it's in red, that means we took in more money than we budgeted. And so, several line items are like that. Some of them are less. That's the kind of thing you can look up on your own and ask me if you have questions. And then the next side, the expenses side, if you go down to the bottom right, you'll see that our expenses for the year were 58% of what we budgeted. Again, partly because of the RV project, but also just spending less than budget, which is what I like to do. So, if you do the math, which I did for you, we came out $147,674.39 ahead, revenue ahead of expenses, which is why our temporary investment is so healthy, which is good. We need the money when we do our project next year and need matching funds. So we ended the year with about $636,000, which was quite a bit more than
And part of that's in the investment.
Yep, there's 427,000 in the investment
Okay.
that earns interest. Yeah.
Why was the miscellaneous 558% of?
Because things come in that we aren't anticipating. If it might be the sale of land, it might be, I would have to have Tracy go back and look at each of those line items. But things will come in that there's no other place on the budget to put it. We have to follow the BARS codes of the state of Washington, and they have very specific revenue categories. And if it doesn't fit one of their revenue categories, we have to put it in what's called miscellaneous revenue. So that we just never know what revenue. We always budget $10,000 a year for maintenance or for miscellaneous revenue and 10,000 for miscellaneous expenses, just to give us a line item, but we just don't know what it's going to be. So Tracy, yeah, we have that all in the computer, and we can sure look that up for you if you're interested in finding out what all those little jewels are. Do you remember any of them, Tracy, off the top of your head? Because if it's a grant that we wrote, we put it under other grants,
So we got money from Wild Horse.
but that went in other grants. We're talking
No,
miscellaneous.
For the mural, it went under miscellaneous
Mm,
because it was the event. So it wasn't really a grant line item. It was for the sesquicentennial.
right. Oh, I thought we put it down here
No.
under grants. But there's something almost every month. See it? There's seven. Yeah.
And
Yep,
in April,
just-
there's a $20,000.
That's-
And
that's-
March, it was 11,000, so that's
Mhm.
31,000, and we're
Yeah.
5,000 over what we
Yeah. Yeah.
expected.
Yeah. We just have to go back and look up what they were. Yeah. But we can do that. We'll be happy to do that. Miscellaneous.
She's income.
That was,
Yeah. We will look that, how about if we look that up for you and we tell you at the next meeting what we got in a miscellaneous way?
Yeah, I would imagine it has something to do with March and April.
Yeah.
A lot of-
Let's see, let me write that down here. You made a note? Okay. Okay, we're always happy to answer questions. We have what's called a budget checker on the computer, so we can go look up every single entry here if you have questions outside of the meeting. So other than getting you all the miscellaneous revenue for the next meeting, just let us know if you have questions. Do you have any other right now?
On the insurance, I'm assuming, because that's paid only once a year, that was,
Mhm. Insurance?
is that correct? compared to what you were used to? Oh, no.
Actually, no, it actually went down.
No, 16%.
Our insurance had been increasing every year and it was frightening. And we actually had a reduction in what we expected for that year of what, yeah, it was. And I think it's because we had a big claim in 2018 when we had a lot of ice damage at the marina. And I think maybe those claims kind of fall off your record and you get back on not being punished for.
This is a lot of money to spend on insurance, man.
Well, it's because of all the buildings.
I know.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, I know. Isn't that shocking?
And until that have to do with anything with, is it just costs that went up? in
Oh,
utilities?
yes, yes, the city water bills and sewer bills went way up, yeah. And then it also always depends on temperatures and stuff, but it's mostly to do with,
Nothing to do with the broadband,
no, that's just not been bad at all, no, And we, just for Scott's purposes, we, all of our leases, they don't include utilities, the tenants pay the utilities. But with the Blue Mountain Station Artisan Food Center, we have a kind of a deal with the city because there's so many little tenants there. It would be very expensive to have 7 meters. So they just bill us and then we pass it through 100% to the tenants. So there's a utilities income line item and a utilities expense line item. We also pay the utilities for the USDA office because that's a full service lease. So we pay those utilities. They pay us higher rent in return. Okay, and then the next one is our regular January budget report for the new year. And there's said quite a few expenses in January, but nothing out of the ordinary. I will run through the voucher sheet and point out anything of interest. You can also ask me questions. We partway down the Herbal Mediterranean Bakery, $50, that's returning a kitchen deposit for a user that is no longer going to use the kitchen. Walla Walla Cookies and Milk, they overpaid us for some kitchen rent, so that was a refund. The $500 to Regina Wilbur, that is for a coffee grinder, that is part of our kitchen equipment. And it was apparently belonged to Ray's Roast, and so we paid a fraction of the price for that. So we could keep it in the kitchen. They use it to grind coffee for the market, for customers. Further down, we have Bow Designs for $1,425. That's for the Tushy Valley Visitor Guide. Columbia County Auditor, that's the election, because, you know, you commissioners cost us a lot of money. Every 2 years. Let's see. Department of Commerce, this is an exciting one, $10,156.83. That is our final sewer loan payment for Blue Mountain Station. Last one.
Cool.
Yes, very exciting. Let's see, the auditor's office, you see that we've been charged for the audit and we will get one more bill. Telit Media, that was for Fall Family Festival, Sesquicentennial, and Walla Walla Valley Visitors Guide design and advertising. Washington Public Ports Association, 1266, that's our dues now. Dues keep going up. WIDA dues. And then the last one, Zero DB Communications, that is the company that is doing design for the fiber project. And that's our first bill on that project for design. Yes, we will get reimbursed from Kurt.
I have a question on, so the card member services, I noticed there was 3 different ones for GoDaddy. I kind of, Shane and I briefly discussed it, but is that the web
Their domain names.
domain?
Some that we use, because we have we have Port of Columbia, we have BlueMountainStation.com. We have one that, we've got another one that hosts a bunch of regional information on it that we pay the domain name. And then there are some that we have kept in case we want them in the future that have Dayton in the name. So yeah.
It's like $700 and some.
One of them has a security certificate that costs a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Department of Commerce,
Yes,
the $10,000.
Yes.
What is that?
That was that final sewer payment. So when we were building Blue Mountain Station, we went and got a loan, a combination grant loan from Curb, yeah.
And then Banner Bank, the 85.93, and I get the bond, but the 85 and 93, those payments are for
85.
15.
Oh, you mean oh, yeah, those are all, loans, where they're bonds, but we call them loans.
Okay.
So I think I showed them to you in that, annual report book, but of course, you're not gonna remember all of them. One of them is for the Artisan Food Center. One of them is for, the, Blue Mountain Station Building number 2. One of them is for, two of them are for, industrial building number 6, which is the Columbia County Public Transit Building. Yeah, so those are bonds that we issued. 3 of them are revenue bonds, one of them is a general obligation bond. So the revenue bonds is when you pledge the revenue paid by the tenant to pay the debt. General obligation is when you just pledge the full faith and credit of the port to pay the debt. Yeah. Those are monthly. We pay those every month. Yeah. So if you look at your budget report, just so this makes a little sense to you, in this section down below that says debt service, that's where those payments are listed.
Yeah, I just been looking at, just had the invoice from, so to speak,
Mhm.
statement from Banner Bank, so I wasn't
Mhm.
quite sure what it was.
Yep. Any other questions?
So we need a motion to sign?
Nope,
No?
you sign the voucher sheet.
Okay. And so we're moving on to leases while we're signing the vouchers.
So we don't have any leases this month other than the Main Stem Malt lease, which I have listed down below, but we can do it now if you'd like. It's up to you.
Where's it down below?
Under Blue Mountain Station.
Okay. How about we do it down there?
Okay,
Since we don't have any normal just exchange of these, this is more of a special.
yes.
And I guess I want to say something is if anybody in the audience has something to say while we're conducting our business, I know we have public comment at the start and down at the bottom. But if you have something that's really pertinent to what we're discussing, please raise your hand, be courteous, be succinct in your comments. And we'll allow you to comment on items if it's timely and you're considerate of our time. So want it to be a little more free flowing discussion. And certainly our commissioners jump in anytime and stop me from, because I tend to just bulldog right down through the agenda and get her done.
Which is okay.
All right. So 2026 policy review and approval.
On that comment thing, I would probably recommend that we stay to the normal of like the 1 minute where we have.
But if they raise their hand and
Yeah.
yeah,
Re-comment, don't get into a full sales discussion,
exactly.
but okay.
But a lot of times we have people from the railroad or from the malting company that should be maybe adding to our conversation, and I just want to make sure everybody understands that they're welcome to make those comments. But if you get carried away, I'll cut you off. Perfect. All right, policies,
Okay.
2026.
Policies. So I sent you a memo in your packet
Yeah.
that explained the changes to each of the policies. The only thing I wanted to add is that I put under policy number 1, personnel, that we added Juneteenth as a paid holiday. That was last year. I used the same memo and retyped it and I missed that. So sorry about that. We'd already done it. So I don't know if you want to go through them one by one. They're pretty minor, but you tell me how you would like to do this.
hopefully we've had a chance to review them, haven't we?
Yeah, no, I only had one question.
Okay.
And you actually had made a note on it, on upping the authorization amount from 35 to 50,000.
Yes,
$50,000 seems like a lot of money. And I guess I don't know,
Well-
and just being out there for the last couple of years, is that common that a personal services contract would be a $50,000 contract?
yes. It is. And it's not like this is something I'm gonna do that you don't know about. It's just that then I don't have to bring it back to the meeting. That's the difference. Yeah, they're,
And that's just.
oh, it is, but it's, I mean, when we
Like, what
did
would
the
that-
comp plan workshop review, I asked for, I did a request for proposals to try to get firms to answer and said we had a $50,000 budget, and I had one firm answer. They all thought that was way too less, way too little. Yeah, it was crazy.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Remember how many times, have you had to come back to us and
Well, like.
of what we have to
Yeah,
provide?
yes, like the, one, I think what made me think of doing this, and you know, this isn't critical. If you're not comfortable with it, it is fine. It really isn't critical. But like when we did the, curb feasibility study for the Craft Malt project, that was, I had to come, we all knew we were gonna do it. We all knew I'd gone to Curb and gotten the money. And here I started entering into contracts with the consultants and I was exceeding my limit. So I had to come back and get a signature. That is the exact situation I'm talking about. So not something like I'm gonna go out and decide we're going to do a $50,000 consultant that we haven't talked about. So it was, that's what it was.
But would it be something, and I'm asking me, and I'm asking you guys, that, would it be something that, all of a sudden, that if there's $35,000 limit, we've got a $50,000 bill, is it something you'd want to know about? Because like, I don't know that we should spend that money on this specific item.
That's why I asked the question of, hey, and I was trying to remember, it's like, how many times has this been a problem, right? If it has a track record of, hey, became a problem because, whatever
Right,
reason,
right.
right? And we had one time that it was above 35, they had to come back, right?
Mhm.
So to me, that's not necessarily a track record that, hey, 35 is too low.
Okay, that's not a big deal. It's just a,
It's just discussion.
yeah, it just
If it's,
prices, it's been that way for years and prices have gone
And
up.
it has
So.
nothing to
Yeah.
do with.
Oh, I am.
It's like $50,000 is,
Oh, it's
a chunk.
the prices of things are just.
Well, how much did our appraisal cost? It
Yeah, it was,
was a lot.
yeah, that was
but you just come back
Yeah.
and conversation and.
Yeah.
Um,
not a big deal.
yeah, and then so we should evaluate that if we continue, right, and it starts
We have to come
to
back.
have a pattern. And then we can reevaluate it in the next budget cycle and say, hey, then now it's becoming a pattern, and what's the pattern, and justify that and go, okay, cool. But if it's not a pattern and we can still operate business efficiently with the current, I'm okay with the 35.
So what are the downfalls if you can't?
Just
it's a great
time.
question.
Delay.
It's just timing. It's just delay.
Delay.
Let's delay. It's just delay. And again, it's not, I guess I need to, what is that? Was that in the
It's in the.
You said-
delegation of authority?
Yeah. it's-
You send out requests for proposals and you get them back and they're over what we had talked about, then you have to wait maybe a month, right?
Yes. Where is my
That's-
copy of that?
It should be by itself. It's further down because it's not part of the policies. That's the next step.
Okay.
Change that is.
I read that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it would just be delay, yeah, and I'm not, let's see. Public Works. Oh, okay, the 50 was not, the 50 was Public Works, and then the other one was personal,
Personal
the
service.
personal services, yeah. Yeah,
And the question was the personal services one.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, and I can think of the Craft Malt example, but there's probably others. But yeah, it's just a delay. It would just, I would have to. Unless I think ahead and ask for permission to sign something before it comes to me, you know,
Well, and you don't know.
it's sometimes those things, yeah.
Receive the
Yeah.
proposals.
But if it makes you uncomfortable, it's okay. It's totally workable, just as causes delay, that's all. Occasionally, once in a blue moon.
We're reviewing these, so what's your pleasure, commissioners?
I guess I kind of like to just keep it the same and if we run into a problem, then address it at that time, but I just think that we could have. I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I would like to have gosh, I don't want to spend $50,000 on that contract if we, there was something. You guys saying.
Yeah, and I think I'm in the same boat and we evaluate it. And if we get into a jam where we're starting to see this, and this is consistent, and then we evaluate and go, okay, we still may not change at the time, but we still may need authorization, for that. But I think right now, without a track record of it being a
Big
problem,
issue.
I think I would like to keep it the same.
So you can say something, yeah, I agree.
Okay, so make a final decision, because I'm gonna have to have Tracy go reprint this, because this one goes in the minute book and has to be signed by the
It
commissioners.
sounds like we'd like to leave it at the 35,000.
It's not 35, it's 25.
It's at 25.
35 is the public works.
Oh, okay.
That one,
Sorry.
yeah, 30, yeah. But the personal services contract is what,
25.
yeah,
That's 25.
So you wanna leave it at 25?
Is that what it is now?
Yes,
Maybe 35.
35 is the public works,
Which one?
like the maintenance
I'd
stuff.
like to keep it at 5, I'll raise it to 50,000, my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there might be some room in there, but I'm okay with 20, like I said.
Okay.
The same thing still applies, right? If
So-
we're not having a problem at 25.
So let's leave it the same. If you
Okay.
reprint,
Everything else okay on this one? I guess that was the only change, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But the other one is okay, the 50.
Yeah.
On the
For
public
public
works.
Public works.
Okay, all right,
Go back to 25.
Public works
Yes.
is way-
okay, Tracy's gonna go reprint, because if we
Yeah.
don't, we can't, we have nothing to get signed.
To show up.
Okay, what about the other policies that were before the delegation of authority?
other questions on other policies?
I think that's really was the only biggest.
I have marks on my computer screen.
You what?
Since I don't print it out, I have to mark it up on my computer.
On your
screen.
computer screen. Okay, well, if you don't, then normally what happens is a motion to approve all policies.
I did one question, just
Okay.
and again, probably because I'm. First meeting, so on the general and administrative. Where this is number 2, general administrative.
Which document are you in?
The. Resolution number 2026-01.
Okay, can I have that back, Shane, please? Yep. General and administrative. Okay,
And so like. So. Under job descriptions, you do the job descriptions, is that anything, does the port commissioners have any? Input on the job descriptions, part of that? Or does that just mean that?
which letter are you on?
D,
D.
2D, right?
Okay. The Port Commission hires the executive director and you create the executive director's job description. And you appoint the port auditor and you choose the port attorney. The port executive director is who hires staff. Now, it's been so long since things have changed. I don't know that, there's no protocol for it, but it doesn't mean you couldn't look at them. It's just not, it's traditionally the Port Commission's job to hire the director and the director to manage the staff.
You should not be involved in those daily,
So here,
to
okay,
keep the separation of
let's just
policy
use,
creators.
let's use, we hire a position. And it's a position that we as a commissioners want to have as a specific, we're hiring them for a specific reason.
As a direct report to you.
No, but just we're hiring them as some, let's just use the let's use Shane's position. Let's say before that was ever created, we wanted to decide if we're gonna spend the money on that, what we're going to do with that position. And so the commissioners then would decide what they would like to do with that position, and then it's up to the executive director to make sure that that position is.
Hire and guide them.
And guide them. It doesn't have to do with the day-to-day governance of them. It's about our idea of what that position should do.
Or whether or not that position is
Funded.
needed or funded,
Yeah,
right?
Is that yes, no?
I wasn't sure what the question was. Sorry, I really didn't know what the question was.
I guess you said that we shouldn't be involved in the day-to-day governance of it or the management of these descriptions or these people. But if the commissioners chose that they wanted a position to do a certain thing, that's what they wanted it for, it would be up to the executive director then to make sure that that position did that job.
Or was filled.
Or was filled or whatever it was that we would
So
do.
you have FTE, so I think I'm understanding.
There are a number of nuances in what you're saying right now, and I'd be happy to meet with you and talk about it.
And I just,
But I don't really want to have a conversation about.
the only reason we're having the
Like that.
conversation though, Kim, is because it's sitting in here, and so that's where my question comes up.
I thought you were asking about approval of job descriptions. Is that okay? So is it in your executive director's job
Let me
description?
ask it this way. If the commissioners decided, that we wanted to change a job description, is that within our bounds to be able to change a job description?
I'm gonna give you a depends. So it is not a good practice for me to give you legal advice in a public meeting because my legal advice to you is private. And if I give it in a public meeting, it could be used in a way inappropriately. So
so I'd like to step in here.
I'm happy to meet with you and talk about that if you don't want to follow through with this particular policy.
Let's not talk about job description.
Okay.
Let's talk about, do the port commissioners set the goals, objectives of our director and for their staff? And the answer is yes. That's really our whole job. And I think that's more what we're talking about, is if we want to change the goals and objectives, and she has the staff to do that with, then isn't that what we're really trying to say?
Yeah, as long as, yes, or whatever the commission decides. I mean, I read this and I think, well, what if we wanted to change something specific? Maybe we didn't want to, Johnny said, maybe we wanted something different. Maybe we wanted to hire something different. Is it something
The
that
circus
that
director.
we would be able to come up with a job description and it's up to the executive director? I mean, I think it's a pretty simple question, but I guess it's something that we can address at that time, because I do believe that the commissioners can do something to that
Just so
effect.
you know, this is based off of many
Okay.
other. Can I finish? This is based off many other. From other port, this isn't a specific Port of Columbia. This is a very traditional, delegation of authority that I used other examples to make it. So
Again,
it's not unusual.
Again, I understand, thank you.
Yeah.
It was just a question that I had because of wanting to, I mean, there's a lot of things that we're hoping to accomplish, and I just want to make sure we accomplish them. So maybe it's in the goals part of it, then that's all good. So,
I think where the budget part is where it would come to commissioners specifically. It's not like the port director would form a new position and just say, oh, we're gonna do this, because
Oh, no.
you guys have to set the budget. Yeah, so it would have to be a budget decision before it could be done.
But I also believe that the commission sets the direction for you to take.
Yeah.
And then how you carry that out, we get to judge you on that. Not necessarily your employees, because you judge your employees. That, okay,
Yeah, and I. 2 cents on it, to bring up a valid point. When I look at the hierarchy of it, is like, okay, we set the scope of work, right? And within that scope of work. We give direction to the director of, hey, this is our budget. This is what we need done. Do we have the skill sets or the positions or to be able to get that done, right? So we set that, and then the director would either say, no, we do not have a position that can do that, or whatever it may be. Or we don't have the bandwidth to be able to do that this time. Or whatever it may be, right? And then we'd have those discussions about, okay, how do we get
How do we
there,
get
right? How do we get
we
there?
still want to go there. How do we get
Budget-wise, how do we get there? And I think, so if we don't get into the nuances of the details of the how of, we give direction to a director and say, this is what we need, this is within our budget. And then let the director manage how that gets done. Within the book of Hoyle and all that good stuff, but
I just think it got off the rails for what I was really at.
I know, that's what I think. I think we're good.
It's just way too easy.
The only part that I had questions in setting salaries, right? That's always been one of my things, is like, hey, it'd be nice to have those conversations, why are we set a salary to certain things, because they have these qualifications, this is what I want to bring them in for, right? To me, as a commissioner, I would like to be able to see that as well, and say, hey, here's my recommendation. The director says, this is my recommendation for this salary. This is why. They have this skill set, this experience, whatever, we're hiring them at this level. To me, as a commissioner, I would like to be able to say, yep, that sounds good, or hey, I disagree with that. So that would be the only thing on this particular one where it says set salaries.
I do want to understand your question more. I really didn't understand it.
Thank you.
Maybe you and I can have a conversation.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I think E covers a lot of that too, where you go down, the executive director has the authority to implement the direction of the commissioners and supervise and direct the employees, consultants' activities and expenditures that report consistent responsibilities to the executive director. Right? So I would say, under the direction of the commissioners, it helps us out there as far as that goes.
That was my only other question.
Okay, so did we fix the $25,000, $50,000 bill?
You didn't kid.
I wasn't sure where you were going.
This is all, this is new for you guys, as it is me, and Kim's going, oh my gosh, where did he come from?
So do we have a signable copy with the?
Any other issues?
Yes, but we weren't
Well, I
up
do,
to it yet.
we can't fix.
Well,
Yeah,
they said they don't have any other questions.
I know, but policies was on the agenda before that,
So
so
we didn't even, yeah, so that's,
Oh, I thought we were.
They're separate.
It's a
they're two
separate thing.
separate documents.
Okay, so do you have questions about policies that we haven't discussed so far? Are you willing to take action to adopt the policies with, now the
the,
delegation is a separate document?
Yeah,
right?
it's a
Okay,
It's a resolution.
okay, so I would entertain a motion to adopt the 2026 policies. Or approve, I guess, not adopt.
I would second that. I mean, I would move, so move.
I will second that motion to adopt them. That's your motion to move.
All right. All those in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, consideration of adoption of resolution 2026-01, delegation of authority. As requested with the change back to the 25,000. Any other discussion on that?
But the public works stays the same at 50.
Right.
Okay. I make a motion to approve those with those changes.
Okay, motion
Second.
been made and seconded to adopt resolution 2026-1, delegation of authority. All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Did we do okay?
Yeah. I have a scheduling conflict coming up. I have rehearsal that starts at 6. It can be a little late.
You're
Do
good.
I don't think you want me at the executive session, but I wanted to ask.
He
you.
did.
I
Yeah.
did, but
Okay, all right then. I
Do we
can,
need,
I can
I think
be
so.
there. I can be there or
or we could, can't really schedule it later.
keep going.
Okay. So before we leave administrative items, I would like to request that we schedule a workshop session in one a month for a particular subject, whatever that may be. We pick the subject at the commissioner meeting and then we have a workshop. And I know I'm saying workshop, it's a special meeting, right? And so we can have a little more time to work on things that are pending. The other side of that is, we've talked about inviting city council, county commissioners to meetings, and I don't know that this regular meeting is the time to do that. Where we could talk to them about how we cooperate better amongst organizations and how we work on individual projects that you're working on, that how we can help and maybe be more involved. It's just an idea.
I like the idea of the workshop. I think that there's, in my mind anyway, there's a lot of things that, I know you guys didn't do you guys didn't come up with ideas for 2026, correct? You were waiting to, the start of the year to come up with an idea what you wanted to do this year as far as project or.
well, we have a strategic plan. We got, they're all,
Specific, no, for goals and objectives or anything for this year? No?
No, we didn't really. I mean, we discussed some and there was talk. And I can't really say that because it was discussed.
So different past that. I won't ask that question anyway. So anyway, I think it's a good idea because I think there's a lot of things that we could discuss. And upcoming, and yes,
Johnny, I know your time stretched.
okay, I'm okay with workshops. And I'm okay with specific workshops. I would oppose the mandatory monthly
Oh,
workshop.
I don't want mandatory when we.
Well, you said monthly.
You
Well-
did say monthly.
Okay,
So I'm like, nah, monthly, no. If we have something that, hey, we talk about and say, you know what, this would be good for a workshop. Let's schedule one down the road when we can schedule that. I'm on board with that, but a monthly, I'm not on board with.
okay.
Because it just turns into meetings to have meetings then.
Yeah.
I would
No, I
like,
don't want-
me too, I would be specific topics.
Yeah.
And driven, that direction, I'm on board with. Cause I think it's important.
Yeah.
To discuss things as they come
Well,
up.
I think we have a lot of opportunities and a lot of things that we could be more partners with our community driven. The business recruitment. I mean, I believe it takes every single government entity that we have and our port, our chamber to drive that forward. I mean, there's a lot of issues out there on vacant buildings and how to drive it forward. I know Shane's done some research on what Pendleton has just done. But without ever talking to the other agencies, we end up with stovepipes.
You don't feel like our economic development steering committee that we meet monthly that's what it's for?
Oh, it is, but it doesn't include the other officers, the other port commissioners. I mean, I guess it could if they all want to be there, but I don't know that it's team building amongst other agencies as much as I view it could be. But it's hard to be mad and angry with somebody when you break bread with them, is part of
I do not know of one entity in this community that we have a bad relationship with, do you?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't know them, and since you helped me out, I don't think you're saying that. I think you're talking about just developing, maybe even a more of a relationship, i.e. a great example would be the city of Dayton and using the right of way for the sewage treatment plant line, right? I mean, that kind of a thing. I don't think it's a bad idea, to have a joint or a meeting with the commissioners or the city council or whoever, and I think that depending on goals and objectives, I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
I know our economic development works well, but it's not an individual meeting between the port commissioners and the city council.
Okay.
The county commissioners and the port. We don't meet and talk about what maybe our mutual goals could be to spur economic development. We don't have those meetings. We have economic development and a representative from each of those comes. It's just another way to try and build bridges and not walls.
I think it's a good idea. I think, and you gotta get them on board too. And
Oh,
that's really what we want to do. So that's specific and you schedule it out, have those
Yeah.
conversations. And say, hey, we'd like to be able to do this. How's, 4 weeks from now or 6 weeks from now. I'm good with that. But a monthly thing, yes,
Can I
ma'am.
make a suggestion? Since those entities all have their own public meeting, if a commissioner or a representative of the port attended one of those meetings and during the public comments said, as I'm here as a port representative and this is what we'd like to do and we'd like to invite you, and we're trying to come up with a time frame and an agenda that's around economic development and all of the different stakeholders to do that. Are you interested in it? And if you are, then we'll start coming up with an
Yep.
agenda and a date. But that's one way to extend the invitation. It's just
Cause
a
it's,
suggestion.
yeah, everybody has the meetings,
Yeah.
and we can attend and then we can, like I said, hey.
I mean, and maybe you get no bites.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
that's possible
Is that-
too. Yeah, it doesn't do any good to have a joint meeting if it's not joint.
So I think nothing changes, other than we've always had the opportunity. We'll just make it a focus if there's something we wanna do. Absolutely.
So let me ask the question on we'll say that workshop. How do you decide, or how have you decided in the past if you have ideas, projects that you would like to research or expand on or to do? Is that not done in a workshop type of session?
It's the comp plan, it's through the comp plan.
If it fits though in that comp, it's something that we're not doing, let's say, or that we want to expand on. I'll just, I don't want to get into specifics. But if it's something we wanted to expand on and to talk about and see what direction we wanted to go.
Just do it at a meeting, I would think,
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
What now?
Just do it at a regular meeting.
Well, we can do that if we can do it that way.
I think that's what we're set up for.
I don't have a problem. I just think there's some things that maybe we need to start addressing that, we're in kind of a tough situation. Losing, 2 major businesses recently. 8 different downtown buildings that are for sale. A dropping tax base. There's a lot of things that are not happening that I think that we, as the Economic Development Agency, need to put a plan together of comp plan, whatever, but we need to put a plan together how we're going to take care of this, because if we don't, and we stay somewhat status quo, nothing's gonna change.
I think I have staff that would like to speak.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
So in a previous governmental life, we would do this once a quarter. It was called Four Corners Meeting. And the 4 governments came together, and each government had 15 minutes to half an hour to discuss what they were working on, what they could use help with. It was noticed as a public meeting that all these commissioners, council members were going to be there. And we got to see what each other was working on so we could help them with. So just like to float that out there as a potential idea that maybe it's not a specific topic, but we do get together to see what the city of Dayton is working on in the county and the school district and whoever else wants to attend. It's just throwing out an idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
There also could be on this agenda, maybe an agenda item where it was the commissioners. I don't know. I think there's two things at play here. I think one of them is we have a comp plan and, port RCWs say that the comp plan drives the work of the port. Because it's not supposed to be, oh, I've got an idea, go do it. It's supposed to be three people having a discussion and including their community and making a decision on direction. So maybe needs to be addressed. Maybe we need to do comp plan update or comp plan discussions again. And then I guess, I don't know, maybe a spot on the agenda that there could just be for commissioners' items or something like that. So there'd be a spot so that we wouldn't have to have a special meeting to talk about new ideas.
Like a new business.
Or I don't know, just commissioners,
Commissioner items.
commissioner items, and each commissioner could have a chance to speak.
It sounded like you had a more specific idea of what some of these workshops could be about. And I think you can definitely do workshops like workshops are often a brainstorming situation where then you can give direction to your staff on what you want. But for a workshop to be really effective, your staff has to bring in information so that you can all kind of process it together. But all of that's doable. I always think that the best workshop has a clear and narrow agenda.
Very narrow.
Otherwise, you get stuck creep in a hurry.
So do we want to think about that? Do you want me to go to city council meetings and county commissioner meetings and see if they're interested?
Yeah, and then bring back what
Bring
you
back.
find out.
I just feel like sometimes within our community, we all have good intentions and yet we repeat the same actions. Unknowingly repeating them, trying to accomplish the same goal where we would be more effective if we were working as all the agencies trying to do their little piece to get to where we want to go. I've talked about it. I call them stovepipes because I'm in the fire service and stovepipes make sense to me. But we end up with stovepipes and yet we're all going to the same place, but we're all doing it individually. And it's much more effective if we're all in a stovepipe together trying to accomplish it instead of doing the same work over and over again by agency.
I think it builds goodwill as well.
I will take it on myself to go to city council, county commissioners, the chamber, hospital, school, and they're all at our economic development meetings, but there's a representative there. Well, not, well, in case of the county, there's the planner and the commissioners, but it's not a.
I guess as you're gonna find that, let's just say the city council, that there may be people on city council that have ideas or things that they would like to see help with from the Port of the County. I could see it being very productive. So.
Okay, I will take that on myself.
Does the economic development meeting that happens monthly, does it have an element of the Four Corners meeting?
It does. People talk about their individual projects, don't they? And the challenges they're facing, and there's shared information there. But it's not the whole of city council. It's not the whole of the county commissioners. It's not the whole of planning department. It's each individual's. And it's great information, but I don't know that it becomes actionable by multiples it's actionable by what they're telling you they're doing.
They're sharing information as opposed
And there are comments about, hey, what did you think about this? And did you think about, I'm not saying it's useless. It's very useful information. I've enjoyed going to them and seeing what's going on in the community. And Jenny is, you're the chairperson, right?
Yeah, I've been calling those meetings for 25 years.
Yeah, and she has a huge amount of information that the community finds very useful. But I don't know that it goes beyond the people that are attending, is what I'm saying. I don't know that they share it well.
I didn't actually agree with that.
I just look at it as another opportunity. Are we taking all the opportunities we can to build a better community and a better county than we have? And I'm not saying we aren't trying. I'm just saying, is there a different way to focus on that? Anyway,
We're good.
I think I've driven that horse into the mud pit.
Yeah, considering it wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing.
Update on port assets.
All right, I'll try to keep it short. We
try to keep my-
did, so it's okay, you guys that need to talk. We did some shrub trimming, we had a mystery roof leak at industrial building number 4 that we, probably just the screws, we usually end up having to what's the word? Caulk the screws on some of those those roofs, so we've had, is it Elsom that came? I think we've had Elsom working on it. And otherwise, everything is intact in the park. There are no tenant changes. Everything's just normal. That's all I've got.
Lions Ferry Marina.
So I turned in the annual management plan, part 1 on December 29th. We are starting on part 2, that's due April 1st. Joanne did take a little bit of time off this winter, but she is, really gearing up for next year. She's already hired most of her staff and has got a cook coming, and she's pretty excited about the staff she's got coming back. So I think that was the only thing that I wrote for Lions Ferry. Yeah. And then, the pull-through project. Yeah, so I'm leaving at 5 a.m. tomorrow, flying to Olympia. That means I have to get up at 2:30 to go to Curb and make a presentation for the 250,000 in match for the RV pull-through project. So, and that's the type of organization that you find out the answer at the meeting, so I will know whether or not we get the money before I leave,
Excellent.
and then flying back in the afternoon. So that's it for the marina.
Okay. Blue Mountain Station.
Okay, so we'll move on to main stem in just a second, but I did want to let you guys know that Cedar Rain is vacating building number 2. They had vacated part of it earlier in the year, and they needed to there were rent issues, so they're vacating at the end of this month. I am meeting with the pasta company that I've been trying to talk into moving there. I emailed them, and the pasta company is coming. Can't remember if it's next week or the week after, so I'm gonna meet with the pasta company and see if they're interested in the building.
Sure.
I do have another lead on for a Blue Mountain Station business that I'm following up on, and then we have a third local entrepreneur group that we've been working with that might be interested in the building. So it'll be kind of fun to have an open building. We haven't had one for a while, but I think there'll probably be a lot of interest. So
Sure.
The pasta company would be the biggest employer, so that would be my first choice by far. So we'll hope that that's gonna happen. So I will update you when I know more about that.
Well, and having agreed on lease from the malting company might help the pasta company make a decision.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly, I suppose. So, the main stem malt lease, finally, after all this time, we have a lease that we've agreed to. Thank you, Kim, for all of your help. Where's the one with the little stickies on it? No, but yeah, okay, so, I sent you a memo with the, highlights of the lease. The 2% we had determined from before, return on investment for the port, not less than 500,000. The tenant and landlord contributions that have been defined in the lease are important. because the future sale price would be based on some of those contributions and also some insurance payouts and some other things. The lease term is 25 years with an option to extend for another 10-year period. The lease rate is two-part, the base rent, which covers the cost of the curb loan in full, plus interest that must be repaid. And then the landlord service charge, which is what we would consider normally consider rent, 53 cents per square foot per month. And that covers our cost of operations and maintenance, insurance, future capital improvements, and so on. And then there's an escalator of 1% per year on that rent. The tenant will use this leasehold interest as collateral for a loan for his business. So it's important for us to get it done now, even though no rent will be paid until, I think substantial completion is obtained on the construction of the building. The tenant has the option to purchase the building, but not within the first 5 years of the lease term. This is a requirement for him to be able to obtain financing for his business. So if there's no option, he would struggle to do that. We've been negotiating for quite some time. Phil is on the line here today, and I don't know if Kim has any other comments she would like to make about the document, but we are ready to sign.
Bill, do you have anything you want to add?
Geez, I guess just thanks for slogging through it with myself and Wyatt, our counsel, both Jenny and Kim. Really appreciate it. Yeah, these I think I guess the only additional perspective I'd bring is that it's a complex deal and has a lot of zeros behind it. So I'm glad we put the time in to make sure it's done right. It feels right and feels like a really solid foundation for the future of our company in Dayton and in partnership with the Port of Columbia. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Cool. Kim?
Only that I think everyone wants success. This is a good thing for everyone.
Jenny? Any other comments?
No, just ready to get her signed, ready to be
Commissioner?
done with this one.
I have no problem with it as written. It is what our comp plan says. It is economic development, it is what we do, and this is exactly in the avenue that we're supposed to be doing. So to me, that's a win. Check that box that
Yeah.
we're absolutely doing that. So
I,
and thank you for the interest
Yeah,
of our little snug little community to be able to help us meet our goals as well.
this is a big deal. I feel like it's and I know there's been a lot of work and a lot of maybe frustrations even. But what a great job. Appreciate it, Phil, Jenny, Kim, your counsel also. And I know it was a lot of work to get here.
Yes, it has been.
Very exciting, very exciting.
Thanks, Phil.
All right, so
Thank
I
you,
have,
commissioners.
and Phil, I am not available on Friday for you to come and sign, so can we set something up for next week? Offline?
Yes, absolutely. And probably could sneak out tomorrow if that was beneficial, but we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm flying.
Oh, yeah, right.
So,
Good
yeah,
luck.
yeah, so, okay, yeah, we'll, and I'm a notary, so I can notarize your signature when you come. We don't have to take it to a notary. Okay? Okay.
So do we need a motion or do we just sign?
Normally you just sign leases.
Okay.
So there you go. And so you need to sign above your name. And we didn't fill in this part because I didn't know who the officers were gonna be. So afterwards I can fill it in where it says it's, president of the board or whatever. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you for all the hard work on that. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
I got two other visitors real quick. My wife Alyssa and our daughter
Oh, wow.
Catalina.
Well,
Anyways,
welcome to
We've
Dave.
been negotiating this so long, Phil, that you have an entirely new human.
the lease took longer than this one, I think.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
But
Nice to
all
meet you,
worthwhile.
Very nice. Job, Jenny. Love, Bill.
Go back.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay,
All right. Appreciate it, Bill.
okay.
Thank
A whole
you.
bunch of stuff there.
It's signed on our side.
All right, thank you very much.
Oh, he signed. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
All right,
Okay.
so. Railroad lease negotiations.
I have not heard anything back from them since our last meeting.
Okay.
So I do have, though, good news on, the two of you already heard it at the Economic Development Steering Committee.
Yeah.
The first load of grain from Prescott went to Wallula. Yep.
Awesome.
You got on.
And so it's a very, very big deal. Yes, it is a very big deal, and it could be up to 1,000 cars a year if this
Excellent.
works. So this should make things much more financially viable for the for the
Railroad.
railroad, yeah,
Good.
and the grain growers. So it's good,
Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. I'm glad that.
And we try to not, we try to give each other time to respond, but it has been about a month, so I think I'll send them an email next week and just see what's going on.
Broadband.
Design is underway for the project. We've got all the contracts in place for all of the consultants, and in this case, because that is a budgeted item with a contract, I can sign those contracts, that's not a problem. So we have Zero DB is doing the design right now, Petrichor is helping with technical assistance, and then Westland from Spokane is doing the cultural resources report, and it's almost done already. So they do that right away. It's called a monitoring plan. And then once construction begins, if we have to do any monitoring for the underground work, they'll have a plan that says how the monitoring must be accomplished. And you have to have an archaeologist on site. And yeah, it's complicated, but that's underway. So it's good. Everything's
Cool.
going well there.
All right. Community and economic development staff report.
Okay, so I did, I didn't put this on the agenda in my, what is that? Oh, here it is. In my, when I wrote the agenda, so I just wanted to talk about the audit a little bit. We just had our 3-year audit, and we had, once again, a completely clean audit. So I have a report. They send it to you via email, but I just wanted to give you a printed copy.
And we had an exit today. I just
Yep,
read.
we had an
I did-
exit.
Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, that's
get
right.
Zoom on.
Yeah, we had an exit conference today, and so if you go to page, they give you a lot of paper for very little information. But if you go to page 4, it tells you what areas of the port that they reviewed. That's at the bulleted list at the bottom. Accounts payable, payroll, procurement, surplus land, tenant leases, open public meetings, and financial condition. And then the one sentence up above highlighted in green, it says, in those selected areas, port operations complied in all material respects with applicable state laws, regulations, and its own policies, and provided adequate controls over the safeguarding of public resources. So that's it.
Excellent job.
Thank you. Staff baked goodies and delivered tenant trays to all of our tenants before Christmas. We do that as a way to thank them for being tenants of the Port of Columbia. That was 20, how many minutes? 23, 24, something like that, but trays. Let's see. We swore in Commissioner Hudson and provided a brief orientation on port work. Plus I sent him an email with some orientation materials. I met with a representative of the state on a new Washington Saves program that goes into effect July 1st of 2027. This will affect businesses that have pay 10,400 hours of a year in payroll. So it's approximately 5 FTEs. And this would be almost like like a 401k. So it's a program where employees through their employer would be contributing to a fund or I think it's gonna be an IRA is what it is at the state. It doesn't cost the business anything, but the business does have to do the paperwork. And so it's not happening until 2027, but we'd like to start telling businesses about it now, because it's kind of a big deal. So we're working with her to have an online presentation probably in March for, Columbia, Garfield, DeSoto, and Whitman County businesses, do one all at once. And then maybe do another one, the next year before it goes into effect. And if, businesses that have smaller number of employees, if an employee wants to participate, they can do it individually, even if the business isn't qualified to do it. And the goal is to bridge the gap, the retirement gap for citizens that don't have employers who provide a retirement benefit. So, and it is optional. The employee doesn't have to participate. Let's see, I'm working on a business lead with an ag-related business, answering questions, I've already sent them to one of the funding agencies at the state level and am working on sending them more information about sites. We've been looking at sites around the county. They want an existing building. It's bigger than anything I've been able to find except the Columbia Pulp site. So I'm hoping that maybe that can work, but we'll see.
Cool.
Let's see, and then the Small Business Development Center, the port contributes $1,750 a year to the SBDC in Walla Walla, and they serve Columbia County businesses free of charge. And they send us a quarterly report. I thought I'd just share that, for the last year, they counseled about 13 businesses here. 3 of them were new clients. And they, saved or retained, 42 jobs and had the gross revenue of the council clients was over $2 million. So we do hear from businesses all the time how much they appreciate Paul Bowen. He's really good. So I thought I'd just share that information. And I did get approached today by BMAC wanting to do some financial classes in the community. So I'm still working on figuring out what they're talking about. And I think that is enough for my report. I will let Shane.
Shane?
Thank you, commissioners. I have completed our Q2 ADO paperwork that goes to the state that gets us our state money. And the process is getting simpler by the minute. So they've changed how they do it. It's not a wonky system. As you may have seen, the Dayton Quilt Shop is operating for business. They are in the throes of renovating their building at the corner of 2nd and Main Street. Most of you know that Mindy from Dingles passed away, and we've been lending them some technical assistance on helping them find leads on certain items. So, for example, with the closure of Pioneer West, chicken feed is no longer available in Dayton. So we've been working with 2 different distributors to try to get them connected, because Dingles has expressed interest in selling chicken feed and dog food. So I'll touch back with them. As I mentioned, Pioneer West did close, and a couple of different stories.
Hello?
So it was noted to me that they thought they had the building sold, so they had decided to close the business, and then the deal fell through. So that building will be available for either lease or purchase. So I'm trying to get some more information on that. In December, the port helped with an initiative called Elfin Magic, which was at the heart of it was a buy local campaign. So people would either donate or see a need, or it was kind of a fun little help your neighbor kind of situation. But the funds that were raised were meant for a buy local campaign. And then we actually held a Christmas party at Blue Mountain Station to try to drive more traffic to the station. So it wasn't wildly attended, but we did it, and it was a good day. So I am working on several grant opportunities. I filed a grant application with the Washington State Micro Enterprise Association. As you recall, we had a $20,000 grant last year that helped us do the Business Boosters class. Actually applied for a $10,000 grant this time and geared more toward technical assistance, individual one-on-one. Jenny had mentioned a value added business out of Blue Mountain Station that we're working with if the pasta falls through. We're working with some USDA money, potential USDA money on that to help them with their operation. And another one that I'm working on, and our first round is due. If you aren't aware, the fairgrounds, the county received a $250,000 grant from the Washington State Department of Ag for the renovation of the East Grandstands. And so that is underway. The grant I am working on with Tyler is for design and engineering services. And the grant that we're working on is specific to that. It can't be for construction or staff or design, amongst other things. As you've seen, the Dollar General is nearing what looks like completion.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. I'm helping the Touchy Valley Golf Club again this year, and the golf show is February 21st and 22nd in Spokane. And more members of the golf club have agreed to come and help, so that's exciting. Jenny and I will be attending the WIDA conference. It's kind of the same week. It'll be like a blur of a week like it was last time, towards the end of February. And then probably the last thing I've been working on is if you'll pass those down. So I instigated a buy local campaign for our restaurants and beverage outlets, if you will. And so it's just a little passport. It's kind of similar to Ladies Night Out. And the businesses on there agreed to participate. They all have a sign somewhere on their location that says participating location. And if a customer spends $10, they get a stamp. And at the end of the month, all the passports that turned in, whoever basically has the most stamps wins. So, and it's working because I've had reports of at least 3 people that have been out with their passports, spending their money.
Good.
And so depositing that local. So, and that's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Housing.
I wanted to have a more in-depth discussion, but I'm not sure this is the meeting to do it. Shall we wait until next month, or do you want me to do it now?
I think we need to wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dayton Development Task Force.
They haven't met since November because the SEDS meeting that we do in December is considered the task force meeting. So I guess we could have Scott report. He's the president. So who do you want to report in the future, you or me?
I think you, absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll be meeting at the end of January and starting on a new year.
All right. We're at the point to start our executive session under RCW.
Well, can I ask a question? Do you plan on taking action after
Yes.
the, oh, okay.
Do I need to read the whole thing or just the RCW and that we're gonna discuss personnel and evaluation, and we'll have some action after.
Do you have an estimated timeframe?
Let's call it 15 minutes.
15 minutes. All right.
Okay.
So
Who is
start the
staying?
15 minutes in a few minutes so that people can clear out.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room until the end of the executive session. Those of you online.
So
That'll time.
I think Jenny, Kim, and the 3 commissioners.
Take this and see if I can make some.
You didn't do a very good job of driving this meeting faster.
It wasn't you,
It was you.
it was me. Tracy and Jenny are used to that with the task force meeting, so.
I'll try to do better in the future.
we did that.
Yeah, time.
I'm sorry, but this is very no sense.
Are you doing practice?
Okay,
Thank
we
you, Kim.
appreciate everybody's patience. We have some action, I would entertain a motion on our director's salary.
People that need a job more than people that already.
That's my husband. I'm gonna mute him.
Unmuting themselves.
Yeah, I make a motion to, raise the director salary, with a 3% COLA and with an additional 7% on top of that
As a step increase.
as a step increase.
I'd second that.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion amongst the commissioners?
So a total of 10% from where she's currently at. So not 3% and then 7% on top, 10%.
10%. Any other discussion?
Thank you.
Thanks. Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, the motion carries. There is a public comment period. Is there anyone in the room that would like to make public comment? Hearing none, anybody in Zoom that would like to make a comment? Anyone on Zoom that would like to make a comment? Hearing none, we'll call this meeting adjourned.
Zoom, we're all muted, by the way, just so you know.
What's that?
The Zoom people were all muted, so.
Yeah, they can unmute.
They can unmute
They can
themselves,
unmute
yeah.
themselves,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's usually what they do is they want to talk.
Thank you for your patience.
It'd be easier to work with me.
Oh, you perfect. Welcome aboard.